Ethiopia's renewed vision and sustained commitment to positive reforms. Ethiopia is today among the fastest growing economies in the world, consistently averaging over 9% growth in the last decade. Ethiopia's GDP has multiplied tenfold in 25 years. Poverty has been halved and educational enrollment has markedly increased. Significant investment in infrastructure has contributed to the growth and attracted foreign direct investment, making Ethiopia one of the leading foreign direct investment destinations in Africa. These are tremendous success and reflect the real commitment of our government and our people to development and progress. Our challenges, however, remain formidable. To reform and to reinforce our upward trajectory and achieve even more rapid and sustainable growth, Ethiopia has embarked on a comprehensive reform process since last April, which cuts across politics, economics, and society. We aim to establish a virtuous cycle between these elements and amongst our partners to enable us to meet our challenges in a mutually profitable manner. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to explain this virtuous path of reform. And our reform is deeply rooted in the philosophy of Maddamar, an Amharic word for coming together or synergy. Maddamar is a historic reform to organic change and is building on the gains of the past while reminding us of our rich heritage. It also reflects on modern realities, strengthening the synergy in politics, economics, technology, and society. Ethiopia is indeed undergoing a period of political and economic renaissance. The Maddamar reform is people-centered and has three interdependent pillars. The first pillar is a vibrant democracy. The second one is economic vitality. And the third pillar is regional integration and openness to the world. Today, we meet at a time of great opportunity for Ethiopia and for you. In this spirit of partnership, please allow me to briefly address each of these aspects. On the political front, we are working tirelessly to fulfill the constitutional promise of building a democratic and pluralistic political order based on our first pillar, a vibrant democracy. Guided by this principle, we have acted quickly and decisively. In the past 9 months alone, we have released all political prisoners in the thousands. We have also invited individuals and groups based on abroad to return home and join us in a spirit of positive sum, not zero-sum politics. We have restored license to independent media, issued an amnesty law, and repealed restrictive laws of the past. We will also have a revised civil society law very soon. We believe it is now possible to sustain growth, attract investment, and allow all Ethiopians to benefit from the growth dividend without embracing democracy and persuading the world to invest in our economy. In sum, we see democracy and development as interlinked, and we have acted decisively on this understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the second pillar of our reform is economic vitality. We are determined to bring Ethiopia firmly into the center of the international market. To do so, we will leverage the collective power of our people, especially women and the youth, and build the private sector to drive more inclusive and socially sustainable growth. We cannot hope to progress as a nation and as an economy if we disqualify half of our population from full and equal participation. Women are now occupying key government positions, including the Minister of Defense, Minister of Trade, Minister of Transport, and the newly established Minister of Peace. We have achieved gender parity in our cabinet. We now have the first woman as the President of the Federal Supreme Court, and recently our parliament has elected the first woman head of state in modern Ethiopia. Thank you. This is important progress, but it is not enough. Ethiopia is a large market of over 100 million people, of which 60 million are under the age of 24. With 500,000 school leavers annually, our core objective is to sustain fast-paced economic growth and to create both more and better jobs. We must create the condition to enable a demographic dividend and to harness the potential of our young and energetic population. To do so, we have to invest in the aspirations of our youth by improving educational standards and create fresh opportunities through careful planning and strategic repositioning. This requires unleashing the potential of the private sector. Here are 4 steps that we are taking to make this not mere rhetoric but a firm reality. First, we will make it easier for small and medium-sized enterprises to grow and flourish, since they are the engine room of our economy. We are reprioritizing access to credit for SMEs, since 2/3 of our SMEs report not having access to finance. Second, we will ease and mainstream regulations needed to start a business and provide a better policy environment. We will make it easier to do business for everyone who wishes to invest in our country. Ethiopia is undergoing significant institutional reforms and is reviewing its investment code, commercial code, and other business regulations to enhance the ease of doing business in Ethiopia and increase our global competitiveness. Third, we will make the private sector an integral part of our economy, as it should be. Ethiopia is committed to reforming its state-owned enterprises and crowding in more private capital. We are committed to opening up the economy to international investors in telecom, logistics, energy, aviation, railways, and industrial parks. This has the added benefit of creating the space to reallocate government expenditure to social services. We are confident that international capital and expertise will deliver significant value for Ethiopians and contribute to our development agenda. Fourth, we will continue to foster public-private partnerships as we see this as more than merely a business proposition and a deal to be struck. We see it as the way to build balanced long-term partnership aimed at triggering faster economic growth and profit. At the same time, we will ensure our citizens realize their full potential and live a prosperous, healthy, and safe life. We therefore look to the next generation of public-private partnerships to be more balanced in delivering growth and yield and representing a fresh way to contemplate the relationship between business and government and offering a shared formula for social and economic growth and inclusiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, the third and the final pillar of our Renaissance is regional integration and openness to the world. Regional integration and trade will be crucial to the future of our continent, allowing us to grow beyond primary commodities and accelerate our development. Addis Ababa is a seat of the African Union and so must lead by example. Our determination explains our active engagement in discussions on the African Continental Free Trade Area and our sense of urgency to finalize Ethiopia's accession to the World Trade Organization. History has demonstrated time and again that neighbors with intimate, rule-based, and diverse trade and economic relations are unlikely to resort to conflict. That is why we believe integration must be viewed not just as an economic project, but also as crucial to securing peace and reconciliation in the Horn of Africa. The adage from our ancestor is, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. In this spirit, Ethiopia has ended 2 decades of military settlement with Eritrea and is enhancing cooperation with neighboring countries and reconfiguring the geopolitics in our region. Ethiopia believes that an Africa at peace with itself can counteract the chaotic push of mass migration. As such, Ethiopia aims to increase the influx of smart capital into African continent. There is a strong case to be made for investing in our continent. Even the most conservative asset allocation of an investment portfolio should prudently consider this option. If just 2% of the 40 trillion USD in OECD pension assets were invested into Africa over the coming 5 years, it would exceed the total foreign direct investment that we have seen in the last 5 years by more than 3 times. For investors considering the record of return, this offers higher than average rewards and diversification of risk. For Ethiopia, it would catalyze transformation. To realize this great opportunity, we appreciate the fundamental need to de-risk our politics and economics, which would reduce the premium sought by prospective investors. Part of that process is to build trust and confidence and to lead by example. I believe that our record over the last year shows this to be so. Dear friends, let me conclude. Ethiopia has embraced a great vision and embarked on bold reforms. Improving the political environment and the business climate is our priority. Building an open society and a vibrant economy is our shared aspiration and our proposition to you, but we must all act fast. Our record over the last 9 months should illustrate our resolves. This is an agenda for action, a blueprint for a model of virtuous and sustainable growth. Looking at what we have accomplished in less than a year, I am optimistic and excited about the opportunities